Notre Dame has its quarterback commitment of the 2028 class, and it's a big one, folks. We're going to talk about it in this video with Blue and Gold's Tyler James. Please do hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to the Blue and Gold YouTube channel for more content, and head to blueandgold.com for much more coverage of the news. And it is Trey Tagliaferri from Bergen Catholic in Oradell, New Jersey. He ranks as the number 216 overall player, number 13 quarterback per the Rivals Industry ranking. But then you could see each individual ranking. Rivals lists him as a number 110 overall prospect and number 11 quarterback. Listed at 6'2", 190 pounds. He was very productive as a high school sophomore. You love the touchdown to interception ratio of 29-3. So let's wrong one. Here we go. Let's pop on the sophomore tape. Tyler, what do you see on his film?
Yeah, a quarterback that can sling it. He's got a quick release, throws a pretty easy deep ball, does most of his work from the pocket, and a lot to like from a young quarterback. He's sort of machine-like in operating the offense and getting the ball out and finding his open receivers, and just sort of repeating that over and over and over again. And he's not afraid to challenge defenses with the deep ball. He obviously has a lot of trust in his receiving core, and I mean, relative ease. Like, look at that. Like, he's throwing it downfield. Looks like he's just playing catch in the backyard with the way he sort of stands in his pocket. I think he owes some credit to his offensive line. He's got some good protection there pretty consistently. He can sort of just stand in the pocket and look downfield and find the open man. And he continues to stress the defense with what he's able to do with where he can put the football. And a lot to like from a young quarterback. Don't see a lot of him on the move. Like I mentioned, he's throwing a lot from the pocket, so I'm curious to see how that develops in his game as he gets older, how he handles that. You see him later do take on some pressure, and he's still willing to deliver the ball, so it doesn't seem like he's afraid to get hit or take contact and let that impact hit the way he operates in the pocket. But a very I would say he looks more experienced than he is. Like, doesn't look like we're watching a sophomore on film here. Like, the way he's just sort of seemingly unfazed and just checking out his targets, step back, hits his mark, and keeps moving the chains and finding the end zone.
Yeah, I feel like I have a million thoughts here, so we'll see if I can get them all out. But yeah, you do see on his film, like, that was his first year starting as a sophomore. He started as a true freshman, or as a freshman at Bergen Catholic. But like, you see him under center, and that play is 5 wide. So he runs a lot of different formations. He does seem very polished. So you got to give a lot of credit to Vito Campanelli, the Bergen Catholic head coach, and also his quarterback trainer, Tony Raciopi, I believe is how you pronounce the last name. Tony does a great job with his quarterbacks. Like, Trey's been working with NFL guys in the past. So, like, because Tony trains them, like Kenny Pickett, I know that Trey's worked with. So like that's a pretty neat thing. Bergen Catholic, so he's playing against top competition. Like, Bergen is a tremendous high school football program, college-like ran program. So you absolutely love that. And, Notre Dame's had quarterbacks from Bergen Catholic in the past couple decades. Of course, that's the school that Steve Angeli attended, and Matt Lavecchio, a couple decades ago, was a Bergen Catholic guy. So people, I've seen already comments, oh, is this another Steve Angeli? I'm like, I don't know, man. I love Steve. I literally have a signed mini helmet from
Steve wasn't Angeli. Slinging it like this.
Steve was, and I love Steve. Steve was not slinging it like this. So he's shorter than Steve. He's listed at 6'2". He's probably more in the 6'1.5", maybe just under 6'2" range. So he's not the tallest, and you don't see him running around and making plays. But otherwise, this kid is awesome. I love this quick release. All of his attributes. You called him machine-like. Talking to him as a kid, and I mean this as a total compliment, Tyler, he's machine-like. Interviewing him, he's going into his junior year, and he talks like a 10-year NFL veteran. Like, just how he handles himself, all the things I've heard about him. Like, I'll give you the floor in just a second. I've talked about this a lot with, like, going from Noah Grubbs, Teddy Gerard, to Champ Mons, like, just how focused and business oriented all these Gino Guidugli recruits have been. I didn't get to know Blake Hebert a ton. And then even going back to CJ Carr, like just so like laser focused, all about business. Trey is that to a T. And Guidugli is like that as a coach and recruiter. And he recruits those kind of guys, and that's who I think these recruits are drawn to Guidugli because they all just kind of have such a similar mindset. And Trey is definitely that as well.
Yeah, when I was watching his film, I was like, what would I single out as like his best trait? And I'm not sure what the answer is. I think the answer is playing quarterback. Like he's a quarterback. There's nothing that like specifically it's like he does this better than everyone else, but I think he does everything really well. And this, I do not want to compare his game to him, but I think you probably would describe CJ Carr in a similar way. Like CJ Carr doesn't have the greatest arm of all time, and he's not an incredible athlete, but he's a great quarterback.
Yeah.
So like we're way too early to like make that kind of comparison, but I think it's just an example of like, hey, you don't have to be the guy that has the laser rocket arm, the guy that can make all the throws, the guy that has the best athleticism, and you can still be a really good quarterback. And that's, I think, maybe what Notre Dame sees in Trey.
Yeah. To answer your question, I think it's his decisiveness. And he does let it rip. Like this intermediate game, man, he puts some real zip on the ball. And,
yeah,
you know, I like some of his off-platform throws, 30, 40 yards downfield. So I'm pretty impressed with this one.
Yeah, and intriguing addition for Notre Dame, obviously early in the cycle to get things moving with the quarterbacks. And obviously Notre Dame's had a lot of success with quarterback recruiting in the last few cycles, and Notre Dame's going to keep it rolling.
Notre Dame beat out Oklahoma and Penn State. He had many other offers. Irish offered him in early June, worked to get him on campus, and he was in town June 21st. And look, he visited for the Blue Gold game. That was his first time on campus, but then Notre Dame offers him. They're like, all right, like now that you have the offer, like we want to get you here and basically try to close the deal. And that's exactly what the staff did. He was only on campus for a few hours on June 21st, but he left campus with a Notre Dame commitment, and then obviously has taken to social media to announce his pledge to the Irish. So Trey Tagliaferri from Bergen Catholic in Oradell, New Jersey, a very nice pickup for the Irish. That is, man, how many commitments is that? That's what, 3 in the past, going back to Gerard last June, 3 in the past 12 months.
Right.
Yeah. Gerard committed, then reclass of 26 to Champ Mons, just in May, and now Tagliaferri. So, 2 in 2 months, 3 in 12. It's a good bit. When I first started covering Notre Dame recruiting, they went like 2 years without one. So now we just got them lined up, and we'll see. I'm already looking forward to 2029. There's a couple that we saw at Irish Invasion that were really good. But anyway, folks, I really like this commitment for Notre Dame, Trey Tagliaferri, picking the Irish. Folks, please do hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to the Blue Gold YouTube channel for more content. And as always, we will catch you next time.